Story has 0 minor league options. Like, Story is 0. What is going on, everybody? Welcome into a Red Sea Radio live stream. I am your host, Corbin. Trendy, what's going on? Mike, how are you? Dallas, what's going on? Mr. Bob Dylan in the chat, what's up? Michaela, how are you? Jordan, Ice Cream Head, like that name. David, Dave, how you doing? Speed Racer, what's up? JB, Aunt Sue's here. Brent, how are you? Rick, maybe? Hello, Rick. Fenway Joe, how are you? Suave, what's going on? Bay Sox, what's up with you? Jose, how you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, Chase, how you doing? Chance? Chance. Braden, how you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, one more live stream till opening day. The next live stream we do is going to be live. A live game. Mr. Money Mike Madness. Appreciate you. If Trevor Story had 0 minor league options, he would be on the MLB trade rumors out of options list, which he's not. The reason he's not on there is because he is past the threshold, my friends. Fangraphs, no options left. No options left. I promise you, Trevor Story cannot get optioned to minor league baseball. I think it's after you serve a certain amount of playing time too, they run out. So either way, he's out. You know what I mean? Either way, he's out. Anastasia, how are you? Started early? Yeah, I wanted to hop on. I don't know. Mike, thank you for your $5, though. Can we get some claps in the chat for Mike, please? Get some claps in the chat for Mike. Appreciate it, Mike. Eaton and Sogard got to make it. Eaton won't make it. Eaton will not make it. There's just simply not room. With Willie Abreu healthy and supposedly starting, there's no room for Eaton. Yeah, it'll be Sogard over Eaton for sure. And Romy, I still think he is he's gonna be good for opening day. What do you think about the Jim Rice situation? I think it was a one-off. Alex Cora every year invites these people. Rice, Evans, Lynn, Poppy, Pedro, and they have him work with everybody, right? It was probably, a AA, AAA guy. Didn't really know where things stood, you know what I mean? And I'm sure that got corrected. We haven't heard anything about it since, so it's clearly not a real situation, honestly. I think it's just a one-off thing, Bobby. But yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, next week we are doing our live stream opening day extravaganza, which is going to be a ton of fun. We're going to be doing our members only before the game, previewing the game, talking about everything, giving some stuff away. And then during the game, we're going to be live right here watching the game together. I can't put it on stream. I get asked that every year. I can't put the actual footage of the game on stream. Not legally allowed to do that. But we will be watching the game together, which will be a ton of fun. I can't wait for that. Can't wait for that. So that's coming up very soon. But until then, the Red Sox, they got to figure out the roster. They got to figure out the 26-man roster. And they made some cuts today, so that's what we're going to be going over. We're going to be going over all those cuts, what it means. Overnight gritty. Now, the gritty is behind us, folks. The gritty is officially behind us. I am a little under the weather today. So if you catch me sniffling, that's why. So we're going to be going over some cuts, the newest ones. There were some that were going to get cut regardless, I think, in my opinion. And again, we say cuts. It's just the easiest. Like, you were trying to make the A team, you're making the B team, basically, right? Everyone kind of interprets cuts differently. I get a lot of, so they're not with the Red Sox. No, they're still with the Red Sox. They just got optioned, basically. The bullpen's going to be abysmal again. I think that's just everyone looking for something to be pessimistic about, if I'm being totally honest, right? I think people are sitting there and they're immediately, the lineup's good, the rotation's good, so the bullpen has to be crap. This team can't be good all the way around type stuff. Even without a set closer, you've got 3 legitimate options. One of them is going to stick as your closer. You look at the rest of the bullpen, and there's legitimate talent there, right? There's legitimate talent there. I mean, Aroldis Chapman came out today. He threw 15 pitches, 13 of them were strikes, and he struck out the side, right? So that, and then you bring it out into, okay, what's the rest of the bullpen going to look like? Well, it's Garrett Whitlock, Justin Slayton, Liam Hendricks, Justin Wilson potentially. We don't really know. I think he's kind of a shoo-in. The Red Sox really like his off-speed stuff despite the spring training statistics. And that's what a lot of this is too, right? That's what a lot of this is too, is people are making decisions about the Red Sox bullpen in spring training. Yet guys will do good, and those same people will say, well, it's only spring training. It doesn't matter. Right, so we got to pick a side here, right? Either statistics don't matter in the spring or statistics do matter in the spring. Driveline side or old school hitting? I think the best answer is a combination of both. Right, I think you should be using the analytics and data that are available to you, as it only improves you, right? But I also think that to some degree there's a human element. Still think Whitlock's the close. Dude, Whitlock's looked good. Whitlock's looked really good. What do you think of Marcel Meyer making the opening day roster? I think we're going to talk about that in tomorrow's video. Like, what's the likelihood? It should pop up, Bay Sox, at some point. Is Nightbot here? I haven't seen him in the chat. I haven't seen him yet. Nightbot should come up. What up, Ben? Whitlock would be your choice for closer? Yeah, his stuff looks great. His stuff looks great. Roman Anthony should be on the 2025 opening day roster. Here's the problem. No, Bear Force. I don't think so. Playing the show while listening. Sometimes I wish I could do that too. Kevin, that's just not true, dude. Right? To say you have no closer just isn't true, right? It's just not. Where was I? Thoughts on Campbell being the favorite? I talked about the video today. I don't know how I feel about Campbell being the favorite right now for second base. My biggest fear, Robbie, and I think the thing that stands out to me the most is he's struggling this spring, right? And it's not so much he's struggling to get results. Because again, at the end of the day, you can hit 100, but if you're making contact, if you have the right approach, if you're not striking out a ton, it doesn't really matter, right? You're still looking good. My fear is that Campbell, the approach doesn't look great, right? The approach looks kind of lost. But we also said that about Willier last year, and he came in 6th in Rookie of the Year voting. And won a Gold Glove, right? So it's hard to sit here and be like, well, this is what I'm talking about, right? You pick a side. Do the statistics matter? Do they not in spring training? I don't really know which side I land on. I think it depends on a case-to-case basis. But I sit here with Campbell, and my fear is that they sat there, they had the conversation with Rafi, they went through everything with Rafael Devers so that they could move Alex Bregman over to third base and keep second base open for Christian Campbell. And now they're sitting there and they're saying, well, Christian might not be where we want him to be. We're going to put him there anyways and assume he's going to develop at the major league level. And that's my big fear with this, right? Is that they sort of sat there and said, well, we're kind of just admitting defeat in this Rafael Devers conversation by putting Christian Campbell in AAA. So we're going to force him onto the major league roster. He's not ready. He fails a whole bunch. It takes him too long to figure out how to not fail at the major league level. And by then, he's lost faith in himself and his ability to play. And all of a sudden, you got yourself I don't know, pick a prospect, right? Situation. So I don't know. I get really nervous with that. But at the same time, again, you go back to, well, what does spring training statistics really mean, right? How much stuff is he working on behind the scenes that he's trying to implement in games that's a cause and effect of these poor statistics? So you sit there with all of it. I don't know. It's an interesting conversation. I will say I think I'm going to talk about this tomorrow. Talk about this tomorrow. I think unless more news comes out in the morning, I think we're going to talk about Marcelo, because if you're going to open up the second base position and have Marcelo play there, he looks smooth as hell defensively, and he's by far and away been, of the final three, right, of the big three, he's been the most complete player this spring. Average on base percentage, slugging, it's all there. It's all really impressive. And defensively, he's looked great as well. I don't know. It's tough for me to sit there and say, like, Marcelo needs more time, but Christian Campbell don't. I don't know. Now, I think Story's going to be Story's a better defensive shortstop. I don't think that's really a debate. I think people really underrate Trevor Story's ability to play defense because of his ability to stay on the field. And they're not really correlated, right? When he's on the field, he's a top 5 shortstop in Major League Baseball. And that's not to say Marcelo Meyer can't be, but if you have that top 5 already, why move that for another guy that could, right? Why would you move the sure thing for the maybe when you could put the maybe at second base and then move him over if you need to? That's my opinion. Michael Fulmer for closer. I don't know. I'm not a huge Michael Fulmer guy, if we're being honest. He's looked really good this spring. I just get worried. I worry about with Fulmer. I worry about him coming back from injury. To be honest with you. Okay. Let's talk about the cuts, shall we? Let's start with the ones that happened today. They were sort of the newest one, the latest Red Sox cuts. Let me pull those up. Let me pull them up. Who had those? Chris Henrique, did he have those? Let me see. Yeah. Okay, so here's the official cuts. What is that doing over there? Oh, right. We were protecting the game last time, remember? There we go. Okay. So these were the official cuts that were announced by the Red Sox today. It was Nathan Hickey, Mark Kolasveri. Yeah, right. I mean, those were guys. Were they non-roster invitees? Yeah, they were, right? They were big league non-roster invitees. No surprise, right? I don't think anyone's too shocked that Nathan Hickey didn't make the Red Sox opening day roster. I don't think that anyone's shocked that Mark Kolasveri didn't make the Red Sox opening day roster, right? These guys are depth. And Hickey's kind of interesting a little bit because he can play some first base, but pretty much depth, right? The three that I really want to focus on today, and I was going to make a video on it. I figured let's have some fun. Let's do it in the live stream. Vaughn Grissom, Josh Winkowski, and Luis Guerrero. I feel kind of bad for Vaughn Grissom, if we're being honest, because it really felt like all of a sudden his chances of making the opening day roster just plummeted, right? It went from, I think he's going to be like coming into it, everyone was sort of like, yeah, Grissom's the guy unless Campbell can somehow win it out. And then they get into camp and it's the total opposite, right? It's Campbell's position to lose according to everything. And Grissom would have had to beat him out and he just didn't, right? He didn't perform super well at the plate. He looked fine defensively. There was one or two miscues, but it wasn't super crazy. I got to be honest with you. I think a lot of people are going to give up on Vaughn Grissom because of the fact that he didn't win this job. I think a lot of people are going to say, well, that's it. He's done. I'm not in that boat just yet. I think there's a lot of talent there. I think Vaughn Grissom is a very, very talented player. I think he just needs to sort of get his footing under himself a little bit with this organization. I'm hoping he could do that with a full healthy year in AAA. I'm not too worried about him spending another year in the minors. I think a lot of people immediately are like, oh, he's in the minors again. He's a nobody. He's 24, right? If he debuts at 25 with the Red Sox on a full-time basis, there's still plenty of years to make a big impact, right? It's just not that 21, 22-year-old elite superstar. And we knew he wasn't going to be that. So it'll be interested to see sort of what exactly he's working on in minor league baseball. What is going to be interesting, though, is because he sort of lost his season last year, that's why Campbell is sort of the front runner. That's why Marcelo is sort of the front runner, right, to take over shortstop at some point. What I really want to see from Grissom in AAA this year is I want to see him be able to versatile himself, become more versatile, right? I want to see him in left field. I want to see him in right field. I want to see him at first base, shortstop, third base. Give me as many positions from Vaughn Grissom as humanly possible. Have him turn into sort of that super utility type player. If you don't have an everyday role for him, I really do think he's still a valuable piece at some point. Here, maybe it's just not an everyday role, right? Maybe it's as a, bench utility superstar, right? That guy who comes in. Sorry, I got something in my eye. It has been bugging me this entire live stream. The guy who comes in and he plays 4 days a week, 5 days a week, it's just in different positions. I'd love to see him be able to do that. Now, if history repeats itself, he's not exactly the best defensive shortstop in the world, so how's that going to look like over at third base? I don't know. But I do want to see some more versatility outside of just playing second base. He played a little bit of outfield, little bit last season. I definitely want to see more of that coming into this season. So I don't know. I'm not totally out on Vaughn Grissom. I am kind of surprised a little bit how quickly the Red Sox realistically, if we're talking about the second base battle, we heard about how good David Hamilton's been, how impressed the Red Sox have been. We've heard the entire spring that despite the poor statistics, Christian Campbell remains impressive to this Red Sox team. We heard Vaughn Grissom put on some weight, and then we heard absolutely nothing, right? So it is kind of interesting to me how quickly they wrote him off. I don't know. It's not like he didn't get his fair shake. That's not kind of what I'm saying. I'm just saying, it almost felt like they watched him for 2 weeks and said, oh, yeah. No. We need someone else in this position, which makes me a little bit nervous. But I do still think the talent is there. I do still think he can be a productive player. I just think he needs to figure out how he fits the major league level if it's not second base, right? Because at this point, second base, if it's not Campbell, it's Meyer. If it's not Meyer, it's Hamilton. And then it's Vaughn Grissom. Or even maybe you put Sogard above him at this point in terms of the depth chart before second base. So I don't know. I don't know where you fit him in. I guess we'll find out eventually. But and then you get Josh Winkowski. I got to be totally honest with you. I actually wrote out my little snippets I wanted to talk about in this video because I wanted to make sure I got everything. At this point with Josh Winkowski, right, you got Criswell as an option for a long reliever in the bullpen. Whitlock is an option for a long reliever in the bullpen. Michael Fulmer, they want to do as a multi-inning guy. He's an option for a long reliever in the bullpen. And then guys who don't fit into this rotation, right? If Priester or Sean Newcomb, whoever doesn't win that fifth spot, if he doesn't end up a starter, I almost guarantee he's going to get some time in the bullpen. You've got guys like Dobbins and Sandlin coming up, right? Conley early over the next year and a half. I'm kind of out on Josh Winkowski. There were flashes of greatness. In 2023, he was really, really good out of the bullpen for the Red Sox. I don't know what happened. He just hasn't been able to get back to that. This spring, you want to talk about numbers that matter, right? Some of the things that stood out to me in terms of his spring training, it was 12 earned runs in 7 innings. Again, it's tough to say, oh, that ERA is bad. But then you look at it a little bit deeper. He walked more people than he struck out. Right, there was a lot of hard contact against him, against minor league players. I don't know. It just feels like Josh Winkowski really just sort of lost it and hasn't been able to find it. I don't know what ends up happening. I really don't with Josh Winkowski. I think at this point he's sort of been relegated to minor league depth. Right, he's a guy who the Red Sox aren't going to let go of because if you let go of him, you lose that MLB experience at the major league level. Whereas, a guy who's a position player, you could find another guy like that, right? It's a little bit more difficult to find that kind of pitching depth in an organization. So I do think they hold on to him. It's just going to be, really, I think it's just going to be his minor league depth. I don't know. I personally, I think I'm kind of out on Josh Winkowski. I just with everyone else, like the other options available for the Red Sox going forward in that type of role, I just maybe to fill in injuries, fine. I don't know. I don't know. There are still a lot of people who see a lot of good in Wink. I can't seem to find it. And then the last one, Luis Guerrero, right? I made a video about Luis Guerrero. I still think he's incredibly talented. I still think he is a future high leverage arm for the Red Sox. You saw the tools at the beginning of the spring training. You saw the tools he has last season in his brief stint in Major League Baseball. The wheels just kind of fell off this spring for Luis Guerrero, right? He ended his spring with the Major League club not looking great. His last 2 2/3 innings with the big league club, he walked 6 dudes and hit 3 more. That's 9 free passes he gave up in 2 2/3 innings. A full lineup, right? He either hit or he walked. He struck out a pretty decent amount, but he allowed 6 earned during that time. I think it's just more so he needs to just go down to AAA and really hone in on what made his command successful in MLB last year. Because if he can get to that, I really do think not sky's the limit, right? There's obviously some limitation to who Luis Guerrero can be, but if you're talking about, okay, beyond this year, Hendricks is on a 1-year deal, Chapman's on a 1-year deal, who's your option for the closer if you're going to stay in-house? Slayton and Guerrero, I think are the 2 names that stand out above the rest. And I do think legitimately Guerrero has a shot at that. It's just all about finding that command. And he wasn't able to do that this spring. So that one makes some sense to me. None of these are really incredibly surprising. I think Grissom being, I will say Grissom being options, like what kind of drives me a little bit nuts with right now the Red Sox decision making is it almost feels like they're not taking into account spring training at all. And maybe that's the right move, but you talk about, starting Massa on the IL. Massa's hitting really well this spring. It's not for any power, but it's really high average. He looks healthy at the plate. Wouldn't your best offensive lineup be, the best perform? I don't know. Like, wouldn't Massa at the DH, Devers at third, Bregman at second, make this the best offensive lineup? Not defensive lineup, right? Because there's a big difference there. I still think the defense is better with Bregman at second and Story at shortstop, but the best it's going to be is with Bregman at third and whoever at second. But my point is, if the Red Sox, my whole point with this in terms of the Vaughn Grissom stuff is Vaughn Grissom hit relatively about the same as Hamilton and Campbell have since like the first 5 games of the spring. Throughout the entirety of the spring, he's hit pretty close to what Campbell has. So what's the real separator there, right? Why is there such a leniency with Campbell and his statistics, but Grissom does almost the exact same thing, and it's like, well, that guy's not cut out to be on the Major League roster. That one, I don't totally understand. I don't totally understand the full reasoning there, right? And that's why the Marcelo Meyer conversation is driving me crazy, because I've been sitting here saying for like 2 weeks he's the most polished prospect the Red Sox have right now. Roman Anthony's been looking good, but like, I don't know, right? You could just like, well, we're just saying, oh, Grissom performed badly last year, so this year he can't get any better. I just don't understand really what the sort of concept behind it is. I truly think at the end of the day, it's the Red Sox forced themselves into Campbell at second because they already had the conversation with Massa, right? And Massa and Devers. You're taking a huge risk there, because if Campbell doesn't pan out at second base, you're going to be forced to backpedal. You're going to be forced to say, Rafi, we're sorry. We're putting you at third base again, and now Rafael Devers has all the power. And I don't know if there's really a power struggle going on, but it took you a month and a half to convince him to be okay with DH at least enough to play, right? I don't know. It's a massive, massive conversation. I think that's a big reason why Campbell's the front runner for second base now. Advanced stats, maybe. Yeah, spring training's interesting because you don't have a ton of information in terms of the advanced statistics, right? Exit velocities, chase rates, heat maps, right? Where one side's hot, the other side isn't. We don't have a ton of access to that, so I can't really tell you if it's a comparison. But just looking at sort of the baseline statistics, Christian Campbell, we talked about him this morning and what he was hitting. It's sub 200, right? He has 2 doubles, and you go to Von Grissom here. Or you go to Von Grissom here. He's got 2 doubles, 6 strikeouts, 6 hits in 40 plate appearances. It's a 176 average. You go to Campbell. Yeah, he's a lower batting average, same amount of hits and same amount of doubles, with way more strikeouts, right? I don't know. It's a tough conversation. I just, to me, it feels like, I don't know. That if I were the Red Sox making a decision right now, Grissom ain't gonna cut it. But like, why? Right? Why isn't he gonna cut it? If your answer is because Campbell's been better, he hasn't. Distractions. I think I'm with you, right? If why are emojis so much bigger now? You notice that? Say the team is better with Massa? How? Right? Coming out, if you're talking about the best overall Red Sox lineup, if Campbell's going to do this in MLB, how is Masataka Yoshida a worse option? I agree, dude. Hey, Craig. It's never been Massa as a bad bat. It's that he's not good defensively, and he's been relegated to just DH roles, so he's not versatile on a roster. Look, if you're hell bent on getting one of these 3 up, then why isn't it Marcelo then? You know what I mean? Like Marcelo. Marcelo looks polished, dude. He looks absolutely polished. Hey, Family Fanatic. Like Marcelo's OPS over the 16 games he's played is over 1,000. You know what I mean? Like if we're gonna make a bold move, put the dude that's hot in. And I was worried. I was under the impression that, hey, they're going to want Marcelo to really hone in on second base. They threw him out there at second base today, but he looked like he'd been playing there for 4 weeks. He'd been playing there his whole life. He was picking balls. He was turning 2. He was barehanded, tossing it to second. He was getting in the holes. It was crazy. He looked like he was a natural out there. And I think that just goes to show you how good Marcelo is defensively, just naturally. But if he's that good, I don't know. Why wasn't he given more time? Why wasn't he given more time at third? You know what I mean? Or second this season? I don't know. I think Willier get back. Yeah, Willier be fine. Weed, I have no idea what you're referring to, but whatever you're going to say, I feel like it's going to be really dumb, so let's not continue it. Mike, Colorado did not want to trade for Trevor Story, I promise you. What is your problem with Trevor Story so much? You think Massa plays as much as he can for a trade this summer? We need pen help? I'm dumb? Okay. I mean, that's fine. As long as you don't go on a rant in my comments, that's fine. You can call me dumb. I don't know if he's going to get the opportunity to play. Right? I don't understand why Massa isn't getting the opportunity to play, but I don't think he's going to get a ton of opportunity to play before the deadline. I think they're going to throw him on the IL. We're not going to end up trading Devers. They're not going to trade Devers. It'd be so unbelievably stupid. They're not trading Devers. Story in his last year. He can opt out after this year. Nah, man. It's not that I don't Weed. It's just it feels like you're gonna go on a rant about something that's non-baseball related. That's gonna completely divide the chat. It's just not. That's just not worth the conversation, is it? Massa and Campbell for Vlad at the trade deadline? No. I mean, just wait. Just wait and spend money on Vlad. Devers' shoulder's worse than reported. He's literally perfectly fine. Literally perfectly fine. People are coming up with conspiracy theories. Devers' shoulders are fine. They've been fine. Trade Story is going to get injured and we get someone cheap from Colorado. The difference between Devers and Nomar is Nomar was on the last year of a deal. He was not re-signed. Devers is signed for the next 10 years. They made a commitment to Devers, and there's probably a no trade clause in there. It's a lot more complicated to trade Devers than it is to trade Nomar. It's a bad comparison if we're being honest. How bad is Massa defensively? I mean, he's not great, right? Especially when you consider the fact that you have 3 Gold Glove potentials, right? Bobby, I'm not mad. I'm just saying they're not comparable. I'm counterpointing your argument, and you're like, look at this bozo getting mad. This is the entire purpose of this live stream. Doubt Bregman will either. The beauty of it, right, is that you only have Devers, Bregman, and Story and Massa really on larger deals going forward. I mean, you have Bayo and say Don Rafaela. Those guys are cheap. You have Whitlock. That's cheap. That's no money. Everyone else is either under arbitration or under rookie status. You have plenty of room to spend, guys. There's absolutely no hard cap in baseball. They could still spend. Bobby, my entire point is that they are different situations. Are they not? Like you're triggered. What are we doing? How old are you? God. Who do you think wins the 5th rotation spot? I still think my gut says Priester, honestly. I'm just done with Blaze. Why? What's a reasonable expectation for Duran this year? He just put up another. I don't think it's a ridiculous. Even if he takes a step back, let's say he's a. Let's say he's a 6-WAR player. He's still a top echelon player in Major League Baseball. You know what I mean, Dean? Bobby, we're not gonna have a pissing contest over who's the more hardened Red Sox fan. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna do that. If you have Devers, Bregman, Meyer, Hamilton, Story, or Sogard, we'll give you interchangeable players to cover it all just fine. The different combinations, just an opinion. Yeah, there are a bunch, but the problem is you got to fit all those guys on one roster. You know what I mean? What up, AJ? Will Fitz go to the minors with rotation, Southie with Bayo and Cutter? Yeah, I think so. Hey, do we have a mod in here? No? Oh, there you are, Robbie. I got it. Never mind. It's going to be challenging first 8 days of the season, Texas and Baltimore on the road. Yeah, it is going to be kind of interesting. Lethal Lee. I love that name. Welcome to Standing Room, my friend. Thank you so much. Can we get some claps for the chat for Lee? I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Duran to stay improving. Maybe his power numbers improve. People keep saying they expect, like, in this chat specific, a lot of people's hot takes were Duran was going to hit 30 home runs. What is going on with my what is going on? Hello? Missed anything? We went over the cuts. They're right there. I'm just gonna keep them on the screen so people can talk about them. Hey, that's good. That's good, Laser. Congratulations. It baffles me how confident people put forward the most awful trade ideas. Trade Devers, trade for Trout, trade Story back to Colorado. Trading Story back to Colorado would be objectively hilarious. It would be objectively hilarious. What up, Cookie? No, I definitely could have seen them trading Gonzalez, but they also had to attach Gonzalez to good players to pick up the Dodgers, right? I don't know. Again, another totally different situation. Dude, Rafaela is looking great this spring. If they figured out Rafaela, okay, Bobby. If they figured out Rafaela's swing, the Red Sox generally have the deepest lineup in Major League Baseball. Think we can win the division? Yeah. Trading Story to Colorado wouldn't be a bad move for Boston. Okay. Mike. Mike just wants David Hamilton in the everyday lineup. Titan, what's going on, my friends? How you doing? It's interesting, Dean. It's an interesting theory. I don't think you're totally off. I kind of think who would be the barometer of the team? Story's a good pick. Devers, I think, is a good pick, too. When he's hot, the team's really good. Bregman's another good pick. I think those are two people. Why would the Red Sox cut Story? Hey, guys, what are we doing? I love Grissom. Yeah, I've told you why, right? I think he's a talented player. And I think he has a lot of potential still. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. Food options at Fenway, yeah, they look pretty good. Yeah, they look pretty good. What is it? It's a cowboy up burger and 2 types of tacos, maybe. Hope to catch game 2. Yeah, there'll be plenty of games for you to catch. Yeah, Meyer looks really good. No, I think the Red Sox aren't going to put, if they're going to bring up one of the three, they're not going to put him on the bench. It's just not going to happen, right? Alex Cora said that 2 days ago. Yeah, it really wouldn't make sense for him to not get playing time, right? If you're gonna keep developing this guy and want him to be a major part of the team's future, you're not gonna want him riding pine. That's definitely that might be bad. That might be a bad option if we're being honest. Yeah, Chapman did look good today. How did Bernardino? Well, Bernardino's not cut yet. I don't think he's having a fantastic spring though. Yeah, it's pretty good actually. I lied. He looks great. 6 2/3 innings, 2 runs, one of them earned. He does have 5 walks though in 6 innings. It is spring training, kind of tough to totally put walks on him. 7 Ks. Looks pretty solid. Yeah, Drew. I'm not a huge proponent of the I'm not a huge proponent of Massa on the Phantom IL either, especially if like I don't know, right? Because even if you're sitting there and you're saying, Bobby, we've moved on, dude. We moved on. I already said I'm not going to say never, right? What more do you want from me, Bobby? My God, let it go. Yeah, like even fully healthy, you can't imagine Masas playing every day in the outfield, right? Duran, Cedon looks good. You got Willier or you got Roman, right? Where do you put Masataka Yoshida if you're going to play him on the field every day? So even if he's fully healthy, I can't imagine that he's going to be out on the field all that often. It feels like an excuse to put him on the IL. And that's exactly what they're doing. Right? The only thing they're doing is that they're trying to make it easier for Rafael Devers to be the everyday first or DH. Right? That's all they're doing. And then they're going to try and figure it out as the season goes on. Maybe someone gets injured and they figure out a way to move Massa type stuff. It kind of annoys me because, again, you're talking about Alex Cora, Craig Breslow. All they're saying this spring is we want to win. This is all about competition. It's all about the best players. And Massa is a solid bat. He would make this team better at the plate. He would. I don't know. You have a better chance of getting on base? Sandy, I bet I could strike you out. Spring training is just practice for the established guy. Young guy need to prove themselves. Yeah, it's a weird it really is one of the weirdest preseasons in all of sports because the numbers mean absolutely nothing and then they mean everything. Right? Like guys who sit there, they could have some of the best springs. We could sit there like Trace Thompson, a great example where he's this fantastic spring training. Everyone's like, "Oh, put him on." And the last week and a half, we haven't heard anything about. We haven't heard anything about Trace Thompson, and he's probably not making the team. He's probably going to opt out, and he's probably going to find another minor league opportunity with someone else, right? It's a weird, really, really weird time for baseball because everything looks super important, but none of it really is. Yeah, it's interesting, Evan. I just think like the Massa thing, and what's weird is you're not technically Phantom ILing Massa, right? If your entire offseason, and maybe this is what they were planning this entire offseason, is saying, look, like we want Massa to play the field. We want Massa to play the field. setting him up for, oh boy, you can't play the field. Like, technically, they're not wrong. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I would do, Retro, I think. The only thing I would consider would be doing Meyer at second because he looks so good. Red Sox never uses their prospects ever and bring them up early. How do you do both? How do you not use prospects and bring them up early? Hamilton's glove's good at second base, but we just need 3 DHs. Yeah, true. There's the solution, right? Let's have a 12-man lineup. Perfect. Will Costas be what we need him to be? God, I hope so. Well, we'll find out this year, Mateo. The only way to answer that, is to say we have to wait and see. Weed, all I did was read your message word for word. Red Sox never uses their prospects ever and bring them up early. You're sure living up to your name today, brother. When will the Red Sox have their first sellout, and how many sellouts will there be? That depends on if they're winning or not, I guess. I would assume opening day sells out. Red Sox opening day sells out, I would assume. How is Garrett Whitlock doing? He's absolutely crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. Guerrero and Mills coming up in the first month. I don't think Wyatt Mills makes it up in the first month. I don't think he does. He's a pitcher in Major League Baseball in 22. He didn't throw it all last year. He looked fine spring training wise. He wasn't fantastic. He was fine. Am I right in that? Shown non-major. Yeah, he hasn't pitched since 2022. And they're gonna give him some time. God, dude, I've had this thing in my eye like all day. You went to the game today? Nice. What up, Chills? Yeah, it's kind of weird that the Netflix documentary is coming out mid-season. Or like the first 2 weeks of the season or something. Going to the home opener, kind of a weird time. Yeah, it is kind of a weird time, actually. They usually do like a midday or mid-afternoon start time. Does Fitz start the year in our rotation? I think so. I mean, what other options do they have? What up, Sox? How you doing, man? Hey, congratulations on that Roman Anthony video. I know you put a lot of effort into it, so it's cool to see that get some recognition, man. Massa, Abreu, Grissom for additional pitching. Alcantara or a Mariner starter? No. No, they couldn't. Alcantara certainly would not be for a Massa, Abreu, Grissom combination, even if they ate money. Maybe mid-season Fetty Helsley. Not now. That's awesome, Sauce content. Congratulations. How Dahlbeck's spring was. Didn't Dahlbeck end up making the team? Or having like a good spring? I mean, he always has a good spring. Let's see how he did. Oh, no, he did not. He hit 174 with a 240 on base percentage, a 174 slug, and a 414 OPS. Thumb wrestle. Imagine they did a televised thumb wrestle. That'd be so sick. Abreu should be traded. I gotta be honest. I think they tried to trade Abreu. I think what's going on is that we as Red Sox fans, because we saw him for a full season, value him higher than other major league teams do. I'm gonna to be totally honest with you. I think a lot of teams looked at him and said, well, He struggled against lefties. There were times where he, had slumps, normal rookie stuff, but enough stuff where you could come back to a team and say, yeah, we're going to need to bump down that value a little bit there, brother. I think that was part of it. Yeah, Bayo should be coming back really soon. He would. He was talking the other day, and he was saying his goal is the first and second week of April. So he's got some time to come back, which is gonna be great, right? If Bayo only misses 1 or 2 starts, Giolito only misses 1 or 2 starts, it doesn't really matter who 4 and 5 are in the rotation, right? Like, I feel like we're making such a big deal out of who's in this rotation to finish it off, right? I'm assuming it's Fitz. I think Fitz has to be in there. And then is it Newcomb or Priester or Criswell? Personally, I sit there and it's like, well, does it really matter, right? If they're going to get the 5th start and then they're going to get the 10th start and then done, you throw anyone in there. Just someone who can give the Red Sox 4 innings, 2 earned runs. You know what I mean? We're fine. So I don't think Abreu for Ryan Helsley package I've always liked. Yeah, I just think it needs, like, I think if that had been the package offered, I think the Red Sox would have done it every day of the week. I think it needed to be more. And I don't know that the Red Sox are willing to do more for a 1-year contract. Will your cutter for Cease right now? Why would the Padres trade away someone in their rotation? Someone in their rotation for someone who's injured and isn't coming back for months. Someone who could give the Red Sox 4 innings, 2 earned runs. My God, it's Cooper Criswell's music. It is gonna be Criswell, isn't it? It's gonna be Fitz and Criswell, isn't it? I really wanted Priester in there. I just think they saw that last start and went, I don't know. Which sucks because, he was doing really good until he hit that last start. Like, if you look at his ERA through his first starts of the season or spring, they look good. He's missing bats. He was limiting damage. And I think hopefully he gets one more start to sort of prove that he can, because I do believe in Quinn Priester. I think he'd be really good. Like, his first 3 starts, it was a 2.70 ERA over how many innings? 6 2/3 innings. And that last start was just brutal, right? 3 2 2/3, 6 hits. He did strike out 4, but don't censor me. I'm not even going to acknowledge that question. It's so dumb. Is Willier still considered a rookie? No. Now, last year was his full rookie year. Campbell or Grissom at second? Or Campbell or Hamilton at second? I don't know. I think it has to be Campbell. I think it has to be. Just got here. Massa gone? No, Massa's not gone. He's just probably starting on the IL. I like the Tokyo series. I don't think it's really for American viewers, right? I think the whole thing's put on to grow the game in the Asia market. I think it's really smart they do it with 2 teams who are loaded with front facing Japanese talent, right? Shota Managa, Seiya Suzuki, and then obviously the Dodgers with Yamamoto, Roki, and Shohei. I think it's really smart. I to be honest with you, I don't have a ton of opinion on it. If the Red Sox did it, I don't know, right? I don't know. But I do think it's smart to have those teams play out there. What's up, Steven? That's cool, man. Feels like the Massa debate comes down to infield defense on one side and a deeper lineup on the other. Give me the lineup. You know what? My kind of biggest problem with it is, yeah, you'd still have Rafi at third, but like second base was such a black hole for you. Improving that with Bregman, like you're still a much better infield defensive team, right? It's just that, like, can Campbell be an everyday good second baseman? Robbie, I think he does. I think Masataka Yoshida does. Yeah. Would I trade Willier and Grissom for Suarez and Cease? Yeah, I would. Not a chance the Padres do. If my team started 0-2 a week before the season even really began, I'd crash out. Imagine, yeah, the Cubs fans gotta be, dude. Imagine losing 2 games to the Dodgers, being like, "Oh man, that was brutal. Good thing it didn't count." And then you get to opening day and you're like last in the division. You're like, yeah, I'd crash out. I'd literally be like, if the Red Sox lost 2 games to the Dodgers in Japan and I had to get up at 3 a.m. to watch them. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, we'd have a problem. Think Moss will be a doubles machine this year? Yeah, if he gets time to play. How long before Anthony is up? I don't know. I think they have to be able to figure out a way to fit him in the outfield first, right? And we've talked about this before. He could be as good as he wants. Everyone's going to be like, well, everyone's already like, just trade Willier, right? But Willier's worth something. He's not like our friends over at Play Tessie there, they, on their latest podcast, they made the comparison between the way the Red Sox put Bobby Dahlbeck at first base with Tristan Casas trying to fight his way up, and the Red Sox putting Wilyer Abreu in the outfield with Roman Anthony coming back up. And I just don't think that's a fair comparison, right? Bobby Dahlbeck was virtually useless. What was that, 22, right? And then 23, Casas came up. Wilyer Abreu was a really solid player. He was a solid everyday player. He was a great defensive player. He's one of the best defensive outfielders in the entire sport. You can't really compare him to Bobby Dahlbeck. I feel like that's the way people are treating him. So it feels like the right answer is just trade Abreu for anything. And that's not really the right answer, because the right answer would be you got to figure out a way to get Abreu. You got to figure out a way to get Abreu value before you get a Roman up here. Or you got to figure out a way to get Cedon to a utility. You have to figure out some way to usefully put him in the outfield, right? You can't just, hey, teams, here you go, right? First one to catch him gets Abreu type stuff. That's a waste of talent. If you sit there and you go, at the deadline, you're like, give me a fifth inning, we're down by 3 reliever, I'm going to lose my mind, because that's just not a viable solution to the problem. And so with the Roman stuff, this is a long-winded answer. I'm sorry, Jack, but it's essentially, how can you figure out a way to fit him on the roster? In my opinion, Roman Anthony's ready. They're not starting him. He's not going to be in Major League Baseball. He's still super young. Is he even old enough to drink yet? No, he's 20 years old. He's turning 21 in a month or so. He's ready. Trade Abreu for pitching after building his value. Yeah, if you, okay, so here's kind of what, like, my thinking, and this is why I went on that little bit of a tangent, right? If you sit there with Abreu and you say, okay, we could build up Abreu's value for 2 months, get Anthony into minor league baseball, really have him figure some stuff out, and then once Abreu has shown that he can hit lefties, once he could show that he could continue to be a Gold Glove defender, we're going to trade him for a 8th inning guy, a 9th inning guy, whatever, right? Up-and-coming pitching prospect that we can add to the build pipeline. That makes more sense to me than right now, hey, let's trade him for Let's trade him for a sixth inning guy. You know what I mean? Aaron Judge, dude. He's so good, but he's also like, sometimes you like I'll look at the, I don't know. I just feel like every time I see Aaron Judge, he's either doing something incredible or he's like the worst player in the league. There's literally no in between with Aaron Judge. An everyday middle infielder. Why? Where would you put Rafaela when you've got Roman, when you've got Trevor Story, Christian Campbell, and Marcelo Meyer in there? Should we stick with Romy and Ref? I stick with Ref Snyder. Yes. I think Ref Snyder has been valuable. I think he'll continue to be valuable. Romy, I like Romy a lot. I think he's also valuable off the bench. I really like Nick Sogard. And if I gun to my head, if I had to choose between the two, I'm taking Nick Sogard. Will Toro make the team? Only way Toro makes the team is if Romy doesn't. If he's injured or whatever. Are we sticking with Narvaez as backup catcher? Yeah, sounds like Narvaez is pretty clearly the backup catcher right now. It's still, I guess Sable's still in the running. I think it's pretty clearly Narvaez. Would I trade Abreu for Helsley? Yeah. The Cardinals would not, though. When are final cuts made? Usually a couple days. I'm trying to remember. The exhibition games in Mexico and what? So Red Sox first game is Wednesday. I think the Mexican games end Tuesday. I would guess probably Wednesday or even Tuesday morning. It's usually pretty late. Yeah, Bobby, that's how fandoms work. Congratulations, you cracked the code. Would I trade Abreu for a good defensive catcher? I don't know that I would, to be honest with you. I don't know that I would. Man, Bobby, who crapped in your Wheaties today? We already asked about that. Devers. Yeah, I'm not gonna read that one. Corbin, if the big three make the team, do you think they're about trading Trevor Story or no? Not yet. They still need to prove that they could play Major League Baseball. You think we need to still get a quality number 2 starting pitcher? No. A high quality relief pitcher? Maybe. A good backup catcher? No, they got one. And a backup first baseman? And a good backup first baseman? I don't like a good backup first baseman's kind of a tough answer, right? Because there's not really like a guy who's known to be a really good, like there are guys who are known to be really good backup catchers, right? That's sort of they've been their calling card in Major League Baseball. You know what I mean? But there's not really like a guy who's made a career out of being a backup first baseman. Rizzo, absolutely not, right? Rizzo was a major part of the 2016 Cubs. He was never a backup third baseman or first baseman. Not a day goes by that I don't wish Connor Wong headed to the White Sox and Teal was opening day catcher. Yeah, that was just never going to happen. What happened with Jared on Felger and Maz? Yeah, Connor Wong, true. Do I see Devers at first base this year? No, I don't think so. Trade Crochet, Durant, Devers, and Bregman for Pablo Reyes. Backup first baseman would be Bregman. No, the backup first baseman's Romy, and then it's probably Sogard, and then honestly, it is probably Connor Wong. Did I get the show 25? Sure did. A lot of Red Sox prospects in there early. I need to get Campbell. I'm working on Roman right now. I got Anthony. I got Marcelo. I need to get dude, I've been trying. So you know what drives me nuts is that some of these are just like you have to do the or the United States conquest maps to get it done. I like that they broke it up this year, but man, those things take so long, dude. That Marcelo Meyer card might be my favorite in the game right now. Dude, swing his butter. Put him on the opening day roster. Did Verdugo catch on with anyone? Sure didn't. He doesn't even have a major league offer. Yeah, Toro. Toro is definitely an option. I'm curious as to where he ends up. Like, does he stick in? If he sticks in the Red Sox minor league system, I'd be psyched. How to even do conquest? Yeah, it just takes so long. You know, they play franchise road to the show. I don't love playing online in Diamond Dynasty. I like Battle Royale. I just like grinding for the cards. I see that Tristan Casas smacked his first home run today. No, that was a while ago. Conquest. Yeah, it is the easiest way to complete programs. You're right. It just like playing against the CPU sometimes that many times in a row drives me crazy. Jaron Duran got robbed in MLB The Show. Jaron Duran got robbed. What am I hoping for on opening day? The Red Sox to win. That's really my only hope. I don't care how they do it. They need to win. They won last year, right? I think so. I think our record, what is our record? We streamed 23 opening day. We streamed 24 opening day. What was our record? 2023 Red Sox opening day score. That's right. The Orioles beat the Red Sox on opening day. Corey Kluber was our starter. Yeah, this was a rough. This was a rough game. Oh, that's right. Because Massa had like 2 singles, and we were like, oh, this dude. Yeah, Yoshida reaches on an infield single. And then last year they won. So we're 1-1 on opening days right now. We need a winning record. So. No, Sox can't think like that. What do I think about Grissom being sent down? I can understand it a bit. If they're so high on Campbell, I can understand it. It just drives me nuts that with Campbell, they're like, oh, the statistics mean nothing. And with Grissom, they're like, oh, the statistics are why you're getting cut. You know what I mean? But I understand the Grissom stuff. I'm still high on Grissom. I still think Grissom can be good. I'm curious to see what he's going to do with the opportunity in AAA this year. What I really want to see, Aaron, from Grissom is I want to see him be able to play different positions. Pretty sure Donaldson walked it off against us in 22. Yeah, I don't think we did a live stream in 2022. Yeah, it was. It was Josh Donaldson. Rafi homered. Donaldson singled the second. Connor Falefa scored. Who started that game for the Red Sox? Nate Eovaldi. That makes sense. Honestly, I could see it, Sox. I could see that. I have 22 players on the opening day roster right now, including Yoshida. If Yoshida's there, then go Hamilton, Sogard, Romy. So do you have Willier on there, Jackson? I think Grissom has spent less time in the minors than Trout did. They're still time. Yeah. He's only 24 years old. Even if he comes up at 25, I don't think it's really a problem. Why do I feel in recent years we started on the road? Yeah, we've only had one of the four. Only one of the four last opening days have been at home. That's kind of wild. What's the deal with Verdugo? No, he was bad last year. He was just flat out bad last year, to be honest with you, CJ. No, Verdugo hasn't even got an offer. Then I know Crochet said he could squat 850 pounds. Huh? 850 pounds? No way. I don't even know what I look up to find that. Like what do I look up to find I just looked up Garrett Crochet squat 850 pounds. Not there's just a bunch of videos on how to squat and like world record holders. But like that's not gonna help. Instagram. I'm not. Dude. I haven't been on Instagram in like a long time. Yankees suck. Agreed. Crochet is a giant frame dude. Saw him in person, Fort Myers. Yeah, that's true. Favorites to win the AL? Yeah, I'd love to. If I tried to squat 850 pounds, you have to find a corpse squished like a pancake. New goal. Ready? New goal. 50 donations, 50 super chats in the next 2 hours. I'll squat 850 pounds. There you go. There we go. Where do I even get 850 pounds? Yeah, I'd have to hire someone, I think. Good luck. Let's make it happen. $2 super chat from Mike. We are 49 away from me trying to squat 850 pounds. Can we get some likes on that message? Thank you, Mike. For the record, even if we get to that goal and you guys go crazy, I don't think I could physically do 850 pounds. Yeah, dude. Tristan Costas is grip strength crazy. Where's versatility when you need him? Yeah. Yeah, versatility would have actually done that. Andrew Benintendi. Gym stream. My gym stream is just running, dude. Bro's clip farming. Do 85 pounds. I'd have to do 85 pounds 100 times. Maybe I could do that. Do I still think there's a chance Bregman start? No, I don't. I think Bregman's officially going to be third baseman. I think that's the only answer. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'd only have to do 85 pounds 10 times, right? Okay. I will squat 850 pounds. If I'm allowed to do 85 pounds 10 times. Yeah, the fact that Alex Cora came out today, he said Rafael Devers is not getting any reps at third base. I think it's I think it's pretty clear that Bregman's going to be your third baseman. So what do we think, chat? What do we think? I put out my record prediction video a little bit ago. We are almost exactly 1 week away from opening day. What are the vibes? What are we thinking? Because this is the most excited I've been in years, dude. This is the most excited I think I've been for a season in years. 161-1. What game are we losing, Liam? What's the game we're losing, though? Dude, this is driving me crazy. You see my mouse going across the stream? Marlins at home. I like it. What's tomorrow's vid? Right now, I think I'm doing Marcelo Meyer. I think that's what I'm doing. We've talked a lot about these prospects the last couple of days, but I just can't help it. The dude's been balling. 110-52. That's sick. I wish opening day wasn't a day game. Yeah, I took the day off. For those of you who weren't here earlier, we are going to be live early, probably like 1-ish for our members only. And then we're going to go live around 3-ish for our regular live stream. And then we'll live stream the game together right here. Should be. I'm working on some giveaways this year that I've been really, really focusing on trying to get perfect. I really hope you guys like them. This will probably be the most nerve-wracking opening day I've had in a while, just because of what I'm going to announce and then give away during the live stream. So pay attention to that, but it is genuinely probably the most excited I've been for a giveaway in a while. What happens when you're a member? You get special emojis to use during the year. You get access to members only live stream. I've been debating actually for members. We do a preview of every game, like the matchups, lineups, key matchups, and then a betting line. I think I'm going to do them video wise this year, like just an hour or a 1 minute, 30 second clip of a preview. Cause typing them out, I feel like people don't read through it, but just listening to it for like 2 minutes might be a little bit easier. You know what I mean? Justin Ramirez, what's his future? I wouldn't go getting it graded or anything. How do you become a member? There should be a link. I think we lost Nightbot. Does anyone have the link to become a member by any chance? Got me on the bets this year. Yeah, so I usually follow my own bets throughout the year, and last year we did pretty well, actually. We were positive by the end of the year. Second base could be Hamilton, Romy, Campbell, Meyer, Sogard. Meyer looks like an MLB player. True. Does it cost money? Yeah, so it's there are 3 tiers. It's 99 cents, $2.99, or $4.99. Pido, thank you for subscribing to the channel. I don't know if that's from a video or if they're in the live stream. I never know. I wish you would tell me. Yeah, Jackson, I just like to me, AAA shouldn't matter, right? You shouldn't, like, if you are good enough, you should be on the Major League roster regardless of whether or not you played time in AAA. But I think you're right. I think him not playing any AAA is absolutely a big part of it. Yeah, Bobby. I have an opening day giveaway. Oh, look at you, Mike. That's your argument for Meyer over Campbell? How is that Juan Soto? Well, also Juan Soto's Juan Soto. That's a tough one. Scott, thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate you, man. I'm excited, guys. Next week, we're going to be live for like 1 to 3, 3 to whatever the end of the game is, which will probably be like 7. So we're going to be live for like 6 straight hours. Maybe we'll even get a fiance appearance. I'm not going to guarantee anything, though. We'll definitely get a Rally Cat appearance. The game starts at 2, though. Oh, sorry. Eastern time. Eastern time. SP equals Dallas Sound, guys. Ah, well, thank you so much. Welcome back. Well, I'm double checking. Yeah, it's March 27th, 4:05 p.m. Eastern. Sorry. Can he really be promoted without a AAA game? Yeah, of course. Rafael Devers only spent what, like a week in AAA? It was really nothing. A lot of guys get sort of a cup of tea in AAA, where they just, okay, we just want to ease your transition a little bit, get you close to the major league team, maybe get you an apartment in the area, and then we're bringing you back. Then we're bringing you up. Let me see. I think Rafael Devers only did. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to be live for the home opener because I'm going to the home opener. Yeah, Rafael Devers spent a total of 15 games in AAA baseball. This is what I mean, right? Like in 2018, he spent 6 games. So, if you're good enough, you could just skip right through there. Please post some videos from Fenway, please. I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking for a while I should do a video of, like a vlog. I don't know. Like Carabas and them, they do vlogs of when they go places because they get all this special access. They see all these cool things. Like mine would literally just be, a regular person's perspective. You know what I mean? I don't know. Speed Racer. Thank you for upgrading your clips. I appreciate it. Emergency situation, Devers and Bregman get hurt. Who fills in? I would guess Meyer, Sogard, Romy. But I can interview fans and stuff. Yeah, I could do that. That's true. There's a lot of regular people in here. That's what I mean, right? If you're going to, but my point is, like, yeah, you and I, we're the same, right? That's been the entire perspective of this channel. But my entire point is, like, if I don't. But my point is, like, if you guys go to a game, your perspective of the game isn't going to be any different than mine. So like, what are you getting out of the vlog? I don't know. That's just my mindset of how do I make it unique? How do I make it different? How do I make it entertaining? Right? How can I make something that you guys can't get yourselves? Is always sort of my ideas for these videos. Vlogs are for kids. Bobby, can we just have some fun, dude? Can we have some fun? I like doing vlogs. I like watching vlogs. I'm going to keep watching vlogs. And you know what? I'm probably going to keep doing vlogs. Can I do the Worcester interviews this year? Yeah. I'm going to go, I think I'm going next weekend to do some interviews. I want to talk to whatever the big 3 make it to minor league baseball, obviously. I'd love to talk to like I'd love to talk to Luis Guerrero. I don't know if I can. Is there anyone you guys want me to interview in AAA? Actually, I should ask that. I'll ask that opening day too. But Password, yeah, he's probably gonna start. He might start in AA actually. If he starts in AAA, I'll try. He might need he might need an interpreter. Think I could chat with Meyer? Yeah, I should be able to. Anyone who's on the team, I should be able to get access to. Hop the fence and get arrested. Interview Romero? Yeah, I'll definitely interview Romero. Roman Anthony? Yeah. Oh, are you kidding me, Nick? Dang it. That kind of sucks. I don't know if I'll be able to get access to people then. Interview Grissom. County lockup live stream. What do you think about Myers starting shortstop, Story back to second base? I would just put Myers at second base, for being honest with you. Mugshot vlog. Yo, Stinson, yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll do a fan interview video at some point, Mike. What types of vlogs do I like? I like food challenge vlogs, Beard Meets Food, car vlogs. I like vlogs from musicians. What up, Hen? Brian Johnson did a vlog for a while. Do I make slap stickers? I mean, I make stickers. I don't know what the difference between that and slap stickers are. Interview Bayo. Yeah, if there's a translator, I'd love to. Conley Early's a good one. Like, some of the pictures would be good. I still think Hunter Dobbins doesn't like me because I Dobbins. See, because I pronounce his name wrong constantly. Now, Mookie Betts has a podcast, Bobby. What about Beer Meets Food? Also solid. Like to see me interview Tech. I don't think he'll be down in Worcester, unfortunately. Yeah, I only have access to the Worcester guys. No Major League guys. I did apply for that pass, like on a whim. Nope. Wasn't surprised, though. Yeah, where he sits down. Bobby, where he sits down with people and records on a microphone. Trace Thompson. Yeah, I was thinking about him, too. Yeah, I'm surprised Brooks Bannon isn't a little bit higher. Bobby, if they're just sitting down and talking, that is a video podcast. That's just a podcast that's on video. Like, are we talking about this? Hold on. Yeah, Brooks looked huge. Do we know exactly when Giolito will be back? No. No. But it sounds like it's going to be a pretty short one. Yeah, Bobby. This... like where he's doing that, and then he sits down with someone like this. Well, actually, this one's kind of a rare one. This one is a vlog because... well, no, it's not. Look, he's just talking to people on microphones. That's a video podcast. There's a little bit of a difference. Worst case scenario, we should just have David Hamilton pitch. True, that could work. Been in the bottom right for a while now. No, I just the theme of the live stream is latest roster cuts. So I want people to be able to come in, see the roster cuts if we're talking about something else. Road game routine, mornings with Mookie. Yeah, that's a vlog. That's a good example of a vlog. Blaze Jordan did one of those too. Favorite Sox of the 2020s? Do they have to debut in 2020s? If I could build a 5-tool player, the one tool from one prospect, how would you build the player? Don't have to answer the question if it sounds stupid. No, not a stupid question. Just using prospects. Well, it'd be the power of Roman Anthony. The speed of whoever that dude is on the Rays. The contact. Contact's kind of a tricky one. I feel like a lot of guys have good contact. The arm of Bubba Chamberlain. Contact stuff. I'll just take Marcelo, I guess. And then fielding of who's that other Rays guy? The Rays have like two of them on here. They didn't actually cut anyone yet. Well, they've been optioning people. Like a big riser this year. I think the biggest riser, right now, dude, you're looking at it, I think it's Cedon, but I don't know. Carson Williams, yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, I don't think anyone will ever let the Mookie stuff go. It is up there for one of the worst trades in Red Sox history. Contact Luis Ariz. Yeah, we're just doing prospects, so. Hit one over the green monster. If you gave me a full day on the field, maybe. Romero might be the biggest riser. Dude, I've been on the Romero train for a while, yes. Most overrated and underrated Red Sox player currently. He got traded, Liam, to the Twins. I hate overrated. Maybe Giolito. I think a lot of people expect him to be like a really good arm. I think he's going to be a fine number 5. Underrated. Who's an underrated player on the Red Sox? Nick Sogard. Once he finally got healthy, I think you could argue he's almost as well-rounded as Meyer. Yeah, maybe. Mikey's up there, dude. I mean, there's a reason he was the first rounder, right? I get they were saving their money to sign under slot, whatever. But Mikey's a really, really good player still. And I think he should get his flowers for that. Absolutely. Okay, chap. So we're one week away from Red Sox opening day. Who do we think the closer is going to end up being? The favorite right now, we know, is Aroldis Chapman, if you watched my video today. Is it going to be Aroldis Chapman? Is it going to be Garrett Whitlock, Justin Slayton, Liam Hendricks, or someone else? Masa's underrated to the front office. Yeah, true. What about Joey Gallo saying he's coming out starting to pitch? You know what? Why not? Why not? Duran's overrated? No. Duran might be underrated, to be honest with you. Closer should be Whitlock. All the options scare you? I don't think all the options are scary. By April, Slayton will be the closer, I bet. No, because I do think they try out Liam Hendricks first if Chapman isn't working. Yeah, that's because there's 2 parts of a season there, Aaron. Liam Hendricks, reliever of the year. Liam Hendricks has been reliever of the year, if that's your question. Richard Fitz in a reliever spot? No, they need him in the rotation right now, unfortunately. You got to be there. Ben Joyce. I don't know that they would trade him for Willier. The Angels are kind of okay in the outfield. Excuse me. Bernardino closer. I kind of like Funky Bernie. David Robertson signing maybe. So from what we've heard from Chris Cotillo, and then a little bit from Alex Spear, apparently on the David Robertson thing is he wanted a certain dollar amount, and he wanted multiple years, and no team's willing to go there. So he's like, I'm good with hanging it up. Like, he's not trying to find a deal. Like most free agents, once they get to this point in the spring, they're signing for whatever the best deal on the table is because they need to work, right? David Robertson's sitting there, he's saying, I don't need to work, I'm good. So I don't think that David Robertson's going to end up getting signed, if we're being honest. I think maybe a team reaches out to him midway through the season and see what's up, but it doesn't sound like David Robertson's all that inclined to take some sort of please come to my team type offer. So I don't think David Robertson's coming to Boston. So I'm kind of letting go of the David Robertson idea. Even if David Robertson was signed, I don't think you make him a closer, to be honest with you. Like, he's closed some games in the past, but he's also much older. I would rather see what you have with, and again, people are saying like there's no closer on the Red Sox. It's not that they don't have a closer. It's that they haven't figured out which one fits yet. Does that make sense? Like, they do have a closer. They just need to figure out which one it is. Is it Chapman? Is it Hendricks? Is it Slayton? And it'll all work itself out, I think, right? They're going to give an opportunity to Chapman probably first. And if he doesn't, maybe he blows one game, or maybe he's closing games, but they're really, really close, and Hendricks looks good. Well, then swap him out, right? And then if Hendricks doesn't look great, put in Slayton, and then you've sort of got this ability to, okay, one guy isn't working out, let's go to the next one. You can just put whoever it is in that high leverage role. Am I worried about the bullpen a little bit? Right, I think there's the rotation is question-ish. But I think there's so much excitement in the rotation. It's hard to be super mad at that. Lineup, I'm not really worried about the lineup at all, right? So the real thing left to be worried about is that bullpen role. So that's what we're all worried about. But it's more so an indication as to how good the Red Sox built up the rest of their team that we're sitting here saying this one specific thing that isn't really a problem yet is going to be a problem. You know what I mean? Whitlock's looked best in high leverage role, and he's still young. Give him a shot. Then Chapman and Hendricks should be high leverage setup guys based on matchup. I honestly don't hate that, Mark. It just seems like they want Whitlock, one, to sort of ease back into a bullpen role. And two, I think they want him as sort of a guy who's going to be able to go multiple innings, which I don't hate, right? Because you don't really have that solidified in the bullpen yet. You've got your high leverage guys. And then you've got your guys who can give you an inning. You've got the Kellys. You've got the possibly Ottavinos. We don't know yet. You've got the Weiserts, but you don't have that sort of, hey, we need two and a third innings or whatever. And they want Whitlock to be that guy, and I don't hate that. I think Whitlock for 2 innings is really good. Is intensity or volume more important for in-season lifting? Honestly, Bobby, I don't know the answer. I'm not a big, I'm not a huge weightlifting guy. You don't need a nightly heart attack. Jansen gave you the thing with Jansen is that any closing opportunity, there's going to be a heart attack. It just is. It just is. Bane, I think I'm more so worried about the bullpen because there's no definitive answer. Right? I'm not so much worried about the bullpen because the talent isn't there. I'm more so worried about the bullpen because there's no definitive answer. And I think those are two different things. I think it's a better place. It's not the best place to be in, right? Obviously, you'd want a Devin Williams or Emmanuel Clase or a Ryan Hensley or a Tanner Scott, who I still think they should have gotten this offseason, or a, you name it, right? But at the same time, I think there could have been way worse situations. What do I think the AL standings will be? What did I say? I said the Yankees 1 game above the Red Sox, Orioles, Blue Jays, Rays. I think Jansen gave you heart attacks. Try watching Kurt Leskanik. Or Hideki Okajima. Okie dokie. We just traded Babe Ruth. Does Crochet win Cy Young this year? As long as Tariq Skubal and Shane McClanahan don't have crazy season. You know what's kind of wild? It's like the three. What are the odds for AL rookie or AL Cy Young? Like, who are the three? It's Higgins is in there, right? Let's find out. So it's Tariq Skubal, Garrett Crochet, Cole Reagans, Jacob deGrom is fourth. I'm kind of surprised by that. Logan Gilbert's fifth. That's crazy. Framber Valdez, Pablo Lopez, Shane McClanahan, George Kirby, the top 10. Hey, Tanner Houck's in the top 15. Plus 6,000 on FanDuel. Maybe I'll throw $10 on that, huh? Closers don't walk guys, in my opinion. Don't have to throw all strikes, but you can't walk guys in the ninth. I think that's fair, but at the same time, it's Aroldis Chapman became one of the best closers in history while still walking dudes. I think it's still possible. You just need to be able to get those strikeouts. Under over 8.5 games missed for injuries for DeGrom, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's coming back from, what did he have? Tommy John? Yeah, Tommy. Third? That's wild to me. Logan Gilbert's third on a lot of places. Tanner Houck hasn't been the same since Ohtani took him deep in the All-Star game. Nah, Tanner Houck was good. Tanner Houck was good for 90% of the year. He had 2 weeks really, where he really wasn't that good. And then he figured it out, and he was fine. Absolutely can, Mercer. Who do you think is going to be starting second baseman? Meyer? Unfortunately, I don't think it'll be Meyer. I think it should be. I don't think it will be. I do think it ends up being Campbell. I think they've sort of hitched their wagon for better or worse, which is fine. There's so many quality bullpen arms available, and we get two older guys. Chapman's okay, but Wilson doesn't impress me. Yeah, Wilson's kind of interesting. Wilson's kind of interesting to me too. We'll see how it works out. They really like his stuff, so we'll see. Sandoval will be the new Giolito when he leaves. Yeah, I think that's kind of the idea. Tommy John, the pitcher, is a weird legacy. Does anyone else have an operation named after them? I'm sure there are, but it's mostly named after like the doctors that perform them or like some random person. I don't know. Jeter Downs, that's a good question. I have no idea where Jeter Downs is. Let me see. He might not even be in baseball. Last played in 2023. Yeah, he's a free agent. He spent 2024 with the Yankees. Actually did pretty well in AAA. Oh, he signed in the NPB. Yeah, that was the first thing I thought of too, Ice Cream Head. No, I have no idea who that is, Liam. Why is there even a question on if Bernardino would be in the bullpen? I think last year, right, is a little bit nerve wracking. He just fell apart last year and couldn't pick up the pieces, and a lot of that had to do with overuse. He was getting used. It was like 3 or 4 times a week to begin the season, and eventually that's going to get to you. But I think it was more so you can't have your one lefty in the bullpen fall apart halfway through. You just can't. So I think that was part of it. Yuri Perez. I wouldn't hate Yuri Perez at all. I think that's going to be pretty expensive, though, and I don't know how they go about getting that. I really hope at this point they don't trade Meyer. I hope Meyer did enough, man, where they're sitting there saying we got to hold on to this kid. I really, really do. I truly think Marcel Meyer is it. Bring back Felix Dubron. Are you guys just naming random Red Sox relievers? Marlins are all, yeah. I'm becoming a Hamilton. My only issue with Hamilton is since he sort of like popped off at the beginning of the spring, he really quieted down. And this is kind of my problem with David Hamilton in general. He's a really streaky hitter. If he could get more, productive on a consistent level, I think there's no question he becomes a really, really intriguing player. But all of a sudden now he's down to a 239 average with what is that combined? Like a 787 OPS. Like, it's still good, right? But it wasn't like holy crap like he was earlier this spring, where he had like those 2 home runs and all that stuff. Give me why doesn't? Yeah, 787 OPS. Which, again, it isn't terrible. It's slightly above league average numbers, but remember when Roman Anthony almost got traded to the deadline? That would have been bad. I don't think Roman Anthony was ever almost traded to the deadline, dude. Yeah, I think Hamilton as a bench bat is kind of the perfect answer, right? He's a solid utility player. No, Aaron. That was because he didn't play in Double A that everyone freaked out, thought he was going to get traded. And then it ended up being it was just a scheduled off day. Not to be on the bench, dude. He like Mike. I know you love him, I do. Where has he showed that he's anything more than a bench bat? Like a good utility player. That's what he is. And that's not a bad thing to be. You're still an everyday major leaguer. You know what I mean? Like people take the bench role as like, holy crap, this guy stinks. It's not at all that. You know what I mean? It's not at all that. You're a good player. There are just players who have a higher ceiling right now, and that's who you should be working towards, being in that everyday lineup. But like a slightly to average bat with speed and good defense at second base is a good baseball player. It's just not an everyday player, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Like I think everyone would go. I think everyone in this chat would give everything to be a bench player in Major League Baseball. You know what I mean? Yeah, fans are turning their back on Rafi Victor for no reason. Sogard's a good bench bat for us. Yeah, Sogard's the same way, right? Sogard to me, I love Sogard. What do I think about Josh Winkowski? I'm kind of out on Josh Winkowski. Honestly, I'm kind of out on Josh Winkowski. You want Grissom to show out? I don't think this is the last time we've heard of Grissom this year. I don't. I think they're gonna make him more versatile this spring. And then I think this season, and then I think his bat comes together. I think it's mostly just they're redefining his bat. It's gonna take time, and he's still young. Do I think the lineup today was a tease for opening day? Yeah, I think the lineup today was what's going to be opening day outside of second base. I think they're still trying to figure that out. So I think we're still going to see second base, but outside of that, you go back to it. Let me pull it up. Excuse me. Yeah, so it's Duran left field, Devers DH, Bregman third base, Casas first base, Story shortstop. Dead stop. That's exactly what Alex Cora said he wanted his opening day lineup to have. That 1 through 5. Duran, Devers, Bregman, Casas, Story. Alex Cora today says Devers isn't playing any third base this spring. Gee, I wonder where he's going to start opening day, right? Casas, we know, is going to be first base. Story, we know, is going to be shortstop. Duran, we know, is going to be in the outfield. That's probably what that number 1 through 5 looks like. Then it's Abreu, Wong, Meyer, Rafaela. If Abreu's healthy, I think they do start him. Wong, I think is so clearly the Red Sox opening day starter for catcher. I don't think who else are you gonna go with, right? And then Rafaela, I think, has done everything in his power to earn a spot this spring. So the only difference there is, I think the literal only difference is Marcelo Meyer, is Christian Campbell, or is David Hamilton going to be in that spot? We know it's not Vaughn Grissom, right? So which one of them? After Bregman eventually leaves, does Devers move back? I don't think you can move him back anymore. I really don't. I think... Also, I got to show you guys this. I have to show you guys this, because I just noticed this, and I don't know that anyone else will notice this. Hold on. Let me go to me. Oops, profile. Let me go to this. Okay. All right. Normal picture of Casas, right? Normal picture of Casas. Can anyone spot what I'm going to point out? Please tell me I'm not the only one who sees this. Please tell me I'm not the only one who sees this. No, it's not the shoes. Definitely not the glutes. He's floating. No, I think he's just mid-step. The lady? Yes. Everyone look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Given the Minnesota Twins, whoever's on the mound, giving them the finger. Why does this not let me zoom in on this picture? Are you kidding? Look at this lady. Look at this lady right here. She's giving the pitcher the business. Why? It's the Minnesota Twins. What are we doing? Right there, she's giving them the business. Oh my God, that's so funny. Whew. She said hello from New Hampshire. Yeah. Oh my God, man. She's like. Oh man, that is so funny. Ooh, I just need to point that out. But back to the lineup. Someone asked, is today's lineup most likely going to be the Red Sox opening day lineup? I think it's pretty darn close. I think the only difference is Marcelo Meyer at second base, even though I think that's the correct answer. If I'm being honest here, I think that's the correct answer. I think the correct answer is this lineup. If you are hellbent on starting Masataka, my personal ideal offensive lineup right now, would be Duran in left field, Devers at third base, Bregman at second, Casas at first base, Story at shortstop, Massa at DH here, Abreu, Wong, Rafaela. But because they're hellbent on that not happening, if we are just purely basing this off of, we want a high caliber prospect at this level to open the season. I get Marcel Meyer has had no experience in AAA, but it's not like, and I'm going to go into this rant and then I'm immediately going to talk about it tomorrow. So if you want to just watch this video, because I'm going to do a full deep dive, but if you want to sit there and make the argument, well, they need to make sure that he's okay in AAA. Like Roman Anthony got 20 games, less than a month. How does that make him such a better experienced candidate than Marcelo Meyer? The only thing I could say is that Marcelo Campbell had 115 games last season. Marcelo only had 77. So you can make that argument. That one I think is fair. But outside of that, like if you're just talking about who's Major League ready. Yeah. Yeah. It like CW, you nailed it, right? Like it's like oh yeah, Massa we don't think is entirely ready. Smokes a home run against the Yankees. Like, I don't know. By the way, you think they're going to screw up the new City Connect jerseys? I actually think they're going to do a very. I like the old City Connect jerseys. I like those. But I could see why people didn't. I think these are going to be good. They want a righty in the lineup, but like you look at it, you added Bregman, you add Story, you've got four righties already in the lineup. What is like you can't be that fixated. The Red Sox front office cannot be that fixated on overbalancing this lineup so much that they're afraid to put Meyer in the everyday lineup because he's a left-handed hitter. That would drive me nuts. Because looking at this, right? Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. We just have two lefties at the top, and that's going to throw it. So instead it'd be left, right, left, right. If anything, that's less balanced. So I would be. I would be very frustrated if their reasoning for putting Christian Campbell over Marcelo Meyer is we want to balance out the lineup more because you're ultimately unbalancing it. Corbett sounds like a reciting a cheat code. Yeah, I'm getting flaming pumpkin heads on Guitar Hero 2. Marcelo Meyer he's flat. He's straight butter. He's straight butter. The Roman Anthony overrated was hilarious. That's another dude. You know what I mean? That's another dude who, if I was running this team, I'm going defense. It's Campbell over Meyer. Did you watch the game today? Marcel Meyer was out there. Hey guys, I've never played second base before, but let me rip both sides of the hole perfectly. Let me backhand toss double plays perfectly. Let me hit every single target, every single cutoff. Meyer's a liability defensively right now. Ben doesn't know what he's talking about. The stats speak for themselves. Dude, what? Literally every single scouting report about Marcelo Meyer, every single one says he's a great defender. I like that is absolutely insane. We got Ben Rice in the chat. They have an extension set up for him if he makes the roster. Yeah, that would be ridiculous in my opinion. Yeah, maybe it is Ben Rice. That'd be ridiculous. I don't know. And it's not like I feel like I'm sitting here crapping on Christian Campbell. It's not what I'm doing, right? I think they're both unbelievably talented players who I think could absolutely be major impacts on this team. Major impacts on this team. But I don't know. Right now I trust Marcelo more. You invited him here to give them an opportunity to play themselves into a roster spot. And the only one who's really done that is Marcelo Meyer, if we're being honest. Yeah, it is injury concern, CW. The literal only things you could say is Marcelo Meyer is injury concern and then inexperience. But I don't know. Roman Anthony's still the coolest of the big three. Yeah. Roman Anthony's got some cool moments, that's for sure. Can we get a Yoshida to the Yankees trade? He might be the only place he actually goes yard. Yeah, what would the Red Sox get from Yoshida for that? Dude, I'm so sick of cat hair. Yoshida for Judge. How do we feel about the Red Sox being so set on Rafaela, an everyday center fielder? For a little bit, it was kind of like, I don't know, right? Like with Roman being in camp, it was, to me, it was a kind of a, okay, what can say, like, why are they immediately giving Cedar Rafael the position? I think he's done enough to earn it this spring. I'm not too concerned with, say, Don Rafaela this spring. And this is kind of what you want out of spring training, right? You want to understand why these guys are places they are. And this is a great example, right? The dude's hitting 300 with a 967 OPS. He's walking more than he's striking out right now, which is huge. He has more walks right now. Hold on. Let me pull this up. He has 5 walks in 13 games. In comparison, he had 15 walks in 152 games last year. Right? Like he's doing everything the Red Sox asked him to do. Plus, he's a platinum glove defender. So I'm not really worried about them being confident in his ability. I think the reason a lot of people want Meyer to spend time in AAA is to work on his lefty-lefty approach. Campbell's a more balanced hitter as of now. I get your point 100%, though. Again, yeah, there's valid arguments to be made for it. I get it. I absolutely get it. I don't know. I see Marcelo. I see a emerging superstar, right? Has Campbell started hitting more in recent games? Not really. He's gotten on base in 8 out of his 10 games. A lot of those have been walks. I would say half of them have been walks. He still only has 6 hits this spring. I'd be curious. I wish there was an ability to go over like splits, like Marcelo Meyer splits in Marcelo Meyer splits in spring training, because I'm curious. He has faced some lefties this spring. We can look at the splits last year, and it's not pretty, right? It's like the last thing lefties develop in minor league baseball is that lefty-lefty approach, and it still takes guys. It still takes guys, a year or so to get through it. Yeah, he was not good against lefties last year. 258, the average was still there. It's just the power against lefties really is the problem. He starts hitting for more power against lefties. I think he's fine. He had 8 home runs total last year. All of them were against righties. He had 28 doubles last year. 22 of them were against righties. He did only have 38 games against the lefties. Really only 69 plate appearances against lefties. So yeah, I could see I could see that being a big reason. Now you bring that up. But don't the Red Sox get an extra pick if Campbell starts the season with a team and wins Rookie of the Year? All 3 of them, any of them, they would get an extra pick for. there isn't enough good lefties in MLB to worry about that. There's enough, I think. Yeah, that's a good point, CW. I don't know. It's just like the whole thing is just like you can come up, but you could say the same thing against Campbell. You know what I mean? Like you say Campbell needs to figure out his strikeout rate before he's in Major League Baseball, or swing decisions, or you know what I mean? Like you could do that, and eventually, yeah, they're not going to be 100% polished before they come up. No one is. So there's only so many things I could be like, well, yeah, that could keep him down. Before it's like, are we just looking for reasons not to let this guy develop in Major League Baseball? Like, and you're kind of in a perfect opportunity to, right? Even with Campbell, with Meyer, with Anthony, you're kind of in a perfect opportunity because a year ago, it was coming into 23. It was if these guys make the team, they are going to be the focal point of the season. Now, there's still going to be a big focal point. Don't get me wrong with the prestige that they've had for so long, but you add in, you add in the Bregman, you add in Crochet, Bueller, you have Devers, you have Casas, you got Story, you got Duran, right? You've got legit guys that you can allow these guys to struggle a little bit in major. Like obviously you can't have a Jackson Holiday situation for 2 months, but if you were to have Marcelo Meyer hitting, let's say 250, right? Let's say he does what he does against left-handers against everyone in Major League Baseball, where for his first month and a half, it's like a 258 average, a 319 on base percentage, 355 slug, and a 647 OPS. Not great. What, Anton? No, it has absolutely nothing to do with his race. It has to do with where he's a top 100 prospect. Garrett Cole found an interesting way of not facing Devers. Yeah. But like if that's what he does for the first month and a half, and then he takes off after that, like you've got the ability to have a guy like that at the bottom of your lineup, and look at the rest of the lineup, right? Like look at it. If Meyer is sitting there in that 8th spot and he's just not doing a whole bunch, but these guys are all carrying him, I don't think it's a problem. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, chat. But get this. This is our last live stream until opening day, folks. Opening day is next week, and we will be live for it right here on this channel. But until then, I'm gonna hop off for the night. Tomorrow we're either talking about Marcelo or we're talking about roster cuts. One of the two, depending on what time those come out. We might end up making 2 videos. Tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see how things go. I think we covered everything pretty well today, right? The 2 biggest topics, I think, are what second base and cuts. So, God, we're getting so close. I'm so excited. I did do a March Madness bracket. For those of you that are new here, we do this once a week. Next week, we're going to be doing a special one. But we do this once a week regardless. We talk Red Sox every single day, but Sundays, usually. Sometimes we do it Sundays, but usually every day but Sundays. So consider hitting that subscribe button. If you're watching this and haven't hit that like button yet, it does help these videos out a bunch, and it really is the best way to let me know you're enjoying the content. Like this is the likes is usually how I gauge whether or not a new concept or something ends up working out. So if you liked it, like it. Let's see what else. Thank you to everyone who became a member tonight. Mike, thank you for your donations tonight. I appreciate you. The man, the myth, the legend, Money Mike Madness, doing what he does best. I appreciate you, Mike. I think that's it. I was making sure I didn't have anything else. Keep an eye out for potentially a pretty big announcement next week at some point. We'll see sort of how things go, but keep an eye out for that. Outside of that, guys, enjoy the rest of your night. And as always, I will see you in the red seats.